Alright, little G060 here. Welcome back. So, the reason I haven't been streaming as often recently, well, I said I was going to do 2 to 3 videos a week, and I've still been keeping to that. But the reason I've been hitting it later in the week, um, partially because I'm doing things and getting my life together, so, let's just say I'm not always the best at doing that. But the other reason is um, this week is one of those weeks I'm working 40 weeks and then also working the weekend. Or 40 weeks, 40 hours and then also working the weekend. So this will be a 56-hour week and I'm already very tired. And there's a couple nights I got home and I had other things to do and also I'm tired. So what ends up happening is a mix of I'm kind of too tired to do anything today, or I got home much later than I expected, so it was kind of. It's just I had to make a choice on whether I was going to stream or not. So, but that is why I swapped to the passive end of things, and instead of doing like fully scheduled streams anymore, I'm just kind of doing the whole 2 to 3 times a week. I think that's the best route for me to go, purely because it allows me freedom to either do them later or earlier in the week. And to say 2 to 3 times, that is speaking minimums. So that's not me being like, oh, I'm only streaming 2 to 3 times a week. It's like I'm streaming 2 to 3 times a week minimum, but if I stream more, I stream more, and it just ensures that people know that I am making content continuously, and that is the goal. Um, Even if things get busy, even if I'm tired, even if things are going on, I enjoy this, and I want to continue doing it. So I'm holding myself to a 2 to 3 time minimum uh, for a weekly set. So that's more of what it's about. So, with that in mind, here we are, ready to play some Apex again. I will be trying to stream more and earlier in the week, like at least separated if I do 2 to 3 times in a week. Um, Kind of spread my content out instead of always being at the end of the week. But I mean, there was one day I got home and I was struggling to keep my eyes open, and it was 5 p.m. So I was like, I don't want to get on stream, and I'm just dead to the world, and I'm so tired that between blinks I'm slurring speech. It's like I'm under the influence of something. In reality, I'm just fucking tired. And who knows, maybe that would be funny, but I'm still working on what I would like to say is um, my my streamer etiquette. There's certain things you can't say on YouTube, or you just don't want to put out online. Period. And that's not to say that I say or do things that I shouldn't offline, but I mean, to be honest, I make certain jokes that would be considered risky, and just like any, and I'm not saying I'm a comedian, but just like any comedian does, they make jokes, and there's some people they're funny, and some people they're not. I think the funniest thing, or the funniest thing, I think the most important thing when it comes to jokes is context and your audience. So obviously, um, if you're talking to a group of people who highly values and respects the dead, you don't want to make necromancy jokes or anything like that, or a necrophilia joke. You want to stay away from shit like that because they respect their dead. And you don't want to make a joke about the dead. Again, the joke, the point shouldn't be to offend when it comes to a joke. It's just about being comical, and being comical about the things that people don't normally joke about is sometimes funnier or huge in a certain way. So yeah, your jokes. The point of a joke should not be to offend. It should be to get laughs and to have a good time. So in that aspect, there are certain jokes that I make that I think are funny to a small amount of people, and that's okay. And my group of friends are those sort of people. So I make it to them. They know I'm joking. There's no hate behind it. I'm not offending them. I don't intend to offend anyone. And they're okay with it. Because again, context and my audience line up. Well, my settings are redone. I'm like, my turning radius is ass right now. I'm pretty much on here. Oh, what's the respawn time now? That's unfortunate. So in that aspect, there's certain things that I would normally joke about off stream that I wouldn't joke about on stream, or that I think I should stay away from on stream because of the fact that just because it's not offensive to me and my friends doesn't mean it's not offensive to someone. And that is not my intention as a content creator. I don't intend to insult anyone or offend anyone. So because that's not my intent, I want to stay away from that kind of content. And that's what really leads the decision in my saying that I haven't really gotten into my streamer etiquette. So if I'm super tired and I'm just kind of streaming, I might say some of those things because it's like the first thing that pops in my head. And my whole goal is to get the channel eventually where I kind of say whatever pops in my head. It's kind of also when I'm playing higher paced games like Apex and whatnot. Just something there I kind of have to play and talk at the same time, and maybe not censor everything that comes out of my mouth. Because I think when you censor ideas and fun, it's not as fun or as free. Um, but at the end of the day, even though that's the place I want to take my content, again, I'm not out here to offend anyone or piss anyone off, or and I don't really attack groups or anything when I make jokes or anything. It's just like certain jokes I make are purposely about things most people don't joke about because I find that funny. Like I like taking jokes and things to aspects that are not normal and in essential, like, I don't know, in context. I like jokes that lead you somewhere and then go a completely different direction. Even if it's not that funny, I still enjoy them. So things like um, when people say the phrase, let's make it like a tree and leaf. You know, oh, it's a play on words. Instead of leave, it's leaf. And trees have leaves. A pretty simple joke. My sensitivity is all messed up. But so like one joke I liked that was pretty. It was in a movie. I don't remember who said it or who made the movie or whatever. I still can't edit my fucking settings here. This is so dumb. Um, one of those things is one of the characters is, instead of saying let's make like a tree and leave, he goes, let's make like a tree and get the fuck out of here. And it's because you think he's going to say let's make like a tree and leave, and he completely circumvents all of your expectations and says let's get the fuck out of here. Trees can't get the fuck out of here. So it's like, what? So it comes out of nowhere, and I feel like that is the funny part of that little bit. And so, like, I'm gonna call it that. It's a bit, because it takes you one direction. It kind of gets you into a situation, and then it's like, no, this situation doesn't exist. And I like that kind of stuff. And because of that, to me, they're jokes that some people don't typically like to say, or not in the norm. I find hilarious. And because of that kind of stuff, it's like, oh, people don't normally joke about this? Cool. I want to joke about it because it's funny to me. I'm sorry, all the menus have changed and my settings are all off. I'm pretty sure my field of view is all the way back. Jeez. Yeah, my like sensitivities. It's not the lowest, but it's not where I want it. My field of view is not. I wouldn't say low, but I don't know if I want to take the max. I'll have to apply. Did I apply these? Yeah, okay. And that's the wonderful thing about jokes is when the context and the audience lines up. It can create a flow or a situation that wouldn't normally exist. And that's what I enjoy about comedy and jokes. It's also what's wrong with the internet and text messaging. So the problem with text messaging and the internet is it's lacking context. And you can kind of force context, but if you force context, it's not as funny. And when I say that, what I'm coming to is, say you're telling me a story, and I find it really interesting, and I go, oh, really? By my voice, and by the situation, and by the look on my face, you know that I am interested, keep telling me more. But in the same situation, let's say you're telling me a story, I'm not all that interested, I don't care, I'm bored. I go, oh, really? Mm-hmm. You can tell I'm not as engaged. I might not want to hear more about whatever the subject is. So in that situation, things change. But the problem with the internet and text messaging is there is no context in that situation. Someone might say, tell an interesting story. You put, oh, really? And they'll be like, oh, I don't need you to be a sarcastic asshole. And you might have truly been interested in that subject and wanted to hear more about it. And you were like, oh, really? I didn't know that was a thing, But without that context, you can't know. And the problem is you can apply whatever context you want to it because it's a text or it's something read over the internet. You don't actually know how that person felt in that moment. But people will still comment back in those situations like oh, I didn't expect a rude asshole, and it's like I wasn't being an asshole. I really was interested in the subject. Where did they go? But it's more agile. But again, because that context isn't there, because you can't see the face, you can't see their voice, because you don't know what they're thinking. Whatever you think they're saying is what they're saying to you. You know, and because of that, you know, it's a different feel, and that's even making content. Yeah, I can say something with a certain look or a certain feel on my face, but somebody might take it another way, even though I didn't mean it that way. And again, my point is never to offend. So with that, I do still feel the need to not necessarily fully censor myself, but I feel like there's a reasonableness to things. If I could say if I think about it in my head for a moment, I'm like, can this be taken out of context? It's the internet, so the answer is always yes. I can say, hey, I genuinely don't like K-pop, but that's not because I didn't give it a try. Someone will just be like, "Oh, you don't like K-pop? You're this and this, and you don't know anything about good music, you know." And it's just like I gave it a try. It wasn't my thing. And they were like, and you saying I don't know good music. It's like you're taking this and applying it to something completely different. You know, you can take anything on the internet and apply it without the context of the original statement. And so, because of that, being a small time streamer starting up, I feel like I have a little bit more of a responsibility to make sure that I at least do my best to make sure that I'm not offending anybody with a baseless comment or a minor joke. Well, when I feel like I don't want to say like when I get if I ever get famous or if I ever get more streamer or followers, you know, I'm gonna change that. It's more of if I can get those habits formed now, it'll be second nature to me later to make sure that I'm a little more sensitive to how other people might feel about things or how things can be easily misinterpreted. You know, I won't even think about things that might be taken the wrong way in that situation like that. So, I mean, obviously, I think as a streamer, I will evolve. My content will change. It will happen. Even if I like the way it is right now, which I think I can always improve. I always want to try to improve. But even if I think it's great right now, my content will inevitably change, and I hope for the better. You know, that is the hope. I hope to get better at streaming, and I hope to get more engaging with people, and you know, get people involved. And um, but as things stand, it's not where thing. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that. Oh, my content's great right now, and it'll never change. That would be a lie. I do like my content that I put out. I mean, I don't necessarily watch it all back myself, but if I didn't like it, I wouldn't have it. You know, I wouldn't stream. And I think that's one of the reasons I went to Twitch first, is I kind of wanted to get more of a basis built. And I felt like Twitch was a good place to start because some people stream on Twitch, I mean, for like a year and never have over 10 viewers. But I was streaming on Twitch and I had like 2 to 7 viewers pretty consistently, and I was purposely not advertising myself because I was just trying to practice. And so for someone to stream for a short amount of time as I did, to consistently bring 2 to 7, and I think the most I ever had was it was like 11 streamers, and I was so early in my streaming career, and I didn't really have anyone like technically following me or anything like that. I think that was pretty good. I think that's more of a statement itself of the vibe I brought to my content, and that people were willing to resonate with it. Um, and the people that I did get were mostly repeat watchers. I mean, there was one person that I had several conversations with. It seemed like almost every stream. Eventually, they did. I did lose them as a viewer at some point, but early on in my career, it was. I need a handle receiver. Thanks a bunch. I need a standard stuff. I need optics for a submachine. So again, I felt like that spoke for my content more than anything else. That someone was willing to engage to that level. Um, and they were the only repeat visitor I had commenting and talking to me, but they were easily the most active. So I think that's kind of what I wanted to do. That's when I realized that I was doing better than a lot of other streamers were doing at the time, and they were fully advertising their, content. And I watched some of them, and then it seemed like they were a lot more awkward, a little less willing to talk, very quiet. Um, and I don't feel the need to fill every moment or every silent moment with my voice. That's one thing I promised myself when I started streaming is like, yeah, I want to kind of constantly be talking just so that people who want to hear me speak have something to hear, like listen to every once in a while, and it breaks up the monotony in moments like this. Like we haven't encountered a team yet this entire time, so it's like if you're just watching me play Apex and I'm being silent, you've heard nothing but footsteps and running, and looting, and that's not necessarily engaging and fun. So, because of that, I feel like I was doing better than some people at the start. That's not to say that I'm better than them or whatever, or to take a condescending approach to it. But it's more of it's a tell of the level of content I was able to create early on to me. And get my shield back. Good night. Oh no! Get my shield back. Oh god! That was risky. That's not my fault. I figured the two of them could handle it, one person. That was my fault. I kind of put that on them too. That was dumb of me to go for the second execution. But um and that's why I felt very comfortable transitioning to YouTube without advertising myself too much. I did put it out there to my friends and family, that I was going to YouTube, and I gave them my two YouTube channels. I still haven't started the other one really yet. I haven't started uploading content because I need to edit videos for that. And speaking of 40 hours a week and being tired, it's just not something I have time to do right now. I totally plan on doing it. It's gonna be a grind. But until I get my life together, I'm not ready for that grind just yet. So I will get that channel started up soon. It'll be mainly highlights. And I haven't decided whether it's just going to be all original audio with like effects added in here and there, or I'm going to add new audio to it. You know, I'm going to comment on my own gameplay and or make jokes at myself for doing stupid stuff, like getting myself killed just now. Um, but also videos I want to add. I want to start let's plays. I want to play entire games. So I'm gonna get back to Cult of the Lamb. Anyone who's interested in me watching that or watching me play that, I'm gonna get back to Cult of the Lamb. I'm gonna finish that on stream. Um, it'll likely be more next week. I think I might do 2 or 3 Cult of the Lamb videos to make up for the fact that I haven't been making any lately. But I think I might do more Let's Plays, but I think it might be better for Let's Plays to do at least partial edited videos. Things like some more similar Game Grumps, where it's kind of like it's mostly unedited content with maybe a skip or a fast forward here and there to when things get way too boring or say fuck up and have to completely redo a part. But sometimes that's part of their videos too, so kind of figure that out as it goes. And with that, I am going to want to edit this. That's going to involve cutting. Also, it's things like my audio. I'm going to increase my voice audio on certain parts or, you know, cut certain audio out. And so I actually decided, for right now at least, I'm not going to include any randoms audio. I kept thinking about ways to put it in there, and I found a way to finally get it on there from PlayStation. But the audio was coming through like dog shit. I mean, that's putting it nicely. It just didn't sound good. So, obviously, if I add that, I'm going to want to edit it to make it sound good. So, but also, I want to be able to censor what they say to an extent. You know, they could get on their mic and yell some shit into the game. And while my fans might know, or people watching the video might know that's not me speaking, it could still get me demonetized on Facebook if I ever get to the point of monetization. Right now, I'm just not at the point where I can monetize videos. I need a lot more followers for that, or subscribers. I keep saying followers, but I need a lot more subscribers to monetize my channel. And if I do get monetized at some point, I want these old videos, these starter videos, the beginner videos of me getting better and better and better at streaming. I want those to be something that a new subscriber can go and watch if they enjoy my content. I want them to have more of my content to be able to watch and me to get monetization. And if random people I run into are constantly saying terrible things that will get me demonetized, that won't be possible. Like the other day, I played Call of Duty on stream. And I heard the N-word many times while I was playing. And, you know, I might say the N-word here and there. But they were saying it with the hard ER, you know, the hateful talk. And to an extent, that's not anything I want on my channel. Certainly not something I want demonetized on my videos. And so that's not the kind of energy I want on my channel anyway. Again, I want to maintain a very chill, tone on my channel. And hearty RN words are not what I want on my channel. So, obviously, I'm going to have to record content where, maybe I also capture their audio, but it's not directly put in to a stream. And then if I want to add it in later on a highlight video, I can add it in. I think that would be a better outcome than to just have unedited random people tearing down my channel, essentially. If he doesn't pick up that volt, I'm going to. But it looks like I'm picking up that volt. Really? Yeah, they didn't. Okay. There was 2 volts anyway. Probably honestly should have picked up those steel cells. Yeah, this feels a lot smoother. I do like that there's kind of like zip line all across the map now. This map is a little weird. I'm getting used to it, but I kind of like that right now. Not gonna lie. Kind of here for it. It makes the map seem a lot more, I don't know, mobile. Kind of makes you a bit of a sitting duck, but it's like, that's the balance of it, You get across the map faster, but people can see you and obviously shoot you out of the sky. So I'm actually interested to see how this implements across the map effectively. Is that Bangalore? Oh, I'm picking one. So there was some over too. How did I not down them? I broke their shield almost instantly, and their health just wouldn't go down. I don't know, man. Like I hit him for a lot of health damage. I don't know. I feel like I fucked him really quick on the shields. I was about to say I didn't have any shield cells either, so I would not be able to quickly get back in the fight. I'm glad I didn't risk it. Ooh, we got to get out of the smoke. So like the Bangalore right now is getting very toxic with the Octane, and that's what I'm kind of talking about. I don't want to bring that kind of energy in. That's kind of why I don't play the place fight anymore, because there's times where it stops being fun, and it's just like I don't want to just complain the whole time. You know, it's not what I want to do. I want to be relaxing, having fun, making a joke here and there. Should be a recon on that. I didn't see all that ammo before. It's not needed. So I was able to get some resources there, and we live. So you know, I am mad at the situation. I'm doing pretty well for not having played this game either. I actually really haven't played Apex much since the last stream, so this is actually my first time on this map. Today, obviously, I'm a few games in now, so this game isn't my first time on this map, but today is my first time experiencing this map. He's zooming though. I don't need to use my own. Kind of makes Pathfinder feel a little bit less useful though. It's kind of my whole shtick. I was gonna use my ult to get us back like in the zone. I was trying to hit the person with it and bring him to me out of the smoke, but yeah, I missed. Oh. I didn't land a single shot of that. That's unfortunate. I don't want to spam. I'll drop the med kit. Oh yeah, the minis. It's still,
Level 3. Phoenix, get here. One more minute, amigo. Ring's right there. So close. So close. Thanks.
I show better. Okay.
Ring's next door. 45.
We're doing fairly well. I've almost got 500 miles. Ooh, that was not 5 miles.
Fine. Double time it. What do you think is over here? Don't find out.
have long range to fight them. It's done us in a single fire mode.
Give my shield a recharge. You like that?
Yeah, we needed to zip out of there. I'm glad they came. Keeping out behind us just in case.
Give my shield a recharge.
I doubt they come through on that zip. You never know. Motherfuckers is crazy out
Give my
here.
shield
I think it was crazy as hell for fire ants in this situation.
a health wall. Enemy spotted.
Keep it throw us in a single fire mode. This is not a good day. I don't have any grenades either. I don't have any cover. It's only us and them though, so we're worried about getting third party right now.
Recharge the shield. Charge the shield. Come on, come on. 45 seconds to
It was going down, ready to get inside. Woo! GG's, y'all. And we came back and won it. So, like, that there, you know, the one guy was getting toxic. I didn't buy into it. I didn't say nothing to him. I think I'm going to try to be a little more positive, too. Because it's like, I'll complain about video game communities being toxic, but I don't really do anything about it. And in a way, you know, it's not helping. And getting toxic back definitely ain't helping. It definitely makes everybody more toxic. And so it's a lot easier to not be toxic in Smite when you have teammates. But it's just, there's so much weirdness with Smite. I'm honestly not even sure why I still play. I enjoyed the game for a very long time. I definitely think there's definitely good parts about it. But I feel like between the community and Hi-Rez's decisions on certain things, it's just I'm like, it can't be my favorite game anymore. It was for a long time. It was like a solid 2 or 3 years. I mean, that was my game. I don't think I'll ever truly hate Smite, but there's definitely a lot of decisions I don't agree with. The game is currently in a situation slash a meta that I don't necessarily like. So, not getting more on it later. But that's all for this stream. I hope I didn't complain too much or get too serious or whatever, but hope it was chill and y'all enjoyed. Throw a like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell notification, you know, do your thing. And I hope you have a wonderful night. Goodbye. And of course, I have to awkwardly stay on for a little bit because there's a bit of a disconnect between when I actually hit end stream and when it actually stops. So I'll stare at you for a little bit. Bye.